Good morning. I want to walk you through some things about the plan for today. So, lesson plan for Monday, or let's see, lesson plan for Monday, May 4th. If you're in my other class, it's going to be Tuesday. Either way. So, this is the plan where we're going to gather the evidence from the play to answer the essential question that you chose and brainstormed last time. So hopefully you brainstormed a number of scenes that you recalled off the top of your head that that may have dealt with your question. If you don't have scenes in mind, you're going to have to go back through, reread summaries, and try and pinpoint the scenes that deal with your question. So, you may have a little bit of work to do in advance of getting to the actual scenes. You may have a little bit of rereading summaries and trying to find those scenes before you can simply start annotating them. But the goal of this lesson is to choose all of the scenes that support your answer to the essential question, export the specific scenes you want to focus on to Notability, annotate and work through the scene to understand exactly what the play, aka what is Shakespeare's position on the issue that you've identified, or the essential question that you've chosen to answer, so that when you create a thesis, when you finalize a thesis, you should hopefully have a tentative thesis, an idea of what the play is saying with respect to your essential question. But by reading and annotating the evidence, you can refine that thesis, you can make it more precise, so that you can claim exactly what the play is saying in response to your essential question. It'll be exact because it'll be based in your understanding of specific scenes. So, looking at my plan here, right now we're watching the video of me explaining today's assignment. I have a video that one of my colleagues made about how to export specific scenes, not the entire text of Macbeth, but just the scene you want to focus on, to a Notability file so that you can annotate it on Notability and then export it back to Google Drive and upload to Classroom. So you're going to need to watch that video, separate link here under bullet point number 2. That'll give you the directions. Now, if you don't have a stylus and find that it's impossible to annotate on Notability, now granted, you can also type in Notability, so you can add a text box and type, and that works very well for annotations, and in some ways is clearer, and there's a lot of white space in the Folger Macbeth that I am asking you to pull the scenes from. So, I mean, I think everybody has the option to annotate in Notability, even if you don't have a stylus. Now, if you would just prefer to handwrite your annotations, you are welcome to print out all the scenes you want to focus on and handwrite it, but then you're going to upload that again to Classroom. So if you see my note there, I use an app called Cam Scanner. It allows you to scan multiple pages and create one PDF with multiple pages. I don't think Cam Scanner is available in self-service, so I don't know if you guys have access to the Apple App Store on your iPads. If you are signed in with, I just don't know. I can access it myself. It's a free app, so I downloaded it to my machine. I think your apps may already have an app called Scannable. You can search your iPad. I think it's let's see. I think you do a 2-finger swipe. Yep, and you can search your iPad for Scannable. It looks like that. It's got that little butterfly. You can also scan a batch of documents into a single PDF on Scannable. I'm not as familiar with it because I use Cam Scanner. I find it more convenient. But if you want to handwrite, that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to scan it, upload that scanned document to Classroom, so probably export it to your Google Drive, and then pull it into Classroom from your Google Drive. Seems like a lot of work when you can annotate in Notability with or without a stylus. Like I said, you can just type your notes in there. So you're going to need to watch this video. This is also This is also the for attendance today. So if you see there's a separate link for attendance, number 3 here, for attendance, see separate assignment link, follow the directions in the assignment link. So if you looked at that attendance for today, it's the same movie. It doesn't matter which link you use to access it, but it's my colleague explaining how to export text from the Macbeth PDF to Notability. I posted that Macbeth PDF as a separate material on Classroom. It's also included with the lesson plan today, so there's multiple points where you can access that same PDF. So after you watch the video on how to export a specific scene to Notability, today's attendance is going to ask you to do that. I want to see that you can export a scene to Notability and then bring that scene back to Classroom and submit it, whether you do that by exporting it from Notability to Google Drive and then picking it out of Google Drive to submit on Classroom, or if you can figure out, and I'm not so good at this, but some people will figure out how to export directly from Notability to Classroom. You may try that. But either way, the directions for all that are in the video here. So you're going to export a scene to Notability and then attach it to this attendance assignment and submit it. You don't have to annotate this. This is not a scene you are going to use. This is just practice importing and exporting. The work of finding your scenes and annotating your scenes is going to take more time. You'll have all of this class period for that, and you'll have the bulk of next period. And even that may not be enough. So I strongly recommend that you put some time in outside of class between the end of class today and our next class meeting, because this is really the major portion of your text-based argument. The body of this essay is based on your argument for what Macbeth, aka what Shakespeare, what the play is saying in response to the essential question you've chosen. So, all right, you've completed the attendance, number 3. Number 4, this is the assignment that I'm talking about. It's due by the end of next class, not the end of this class, but the end of next class, meaning that it's a more substantial assignment, and it's really key to your success on this paper. And it will require at least 2 hours of your time, i.e. some time outside of class will be necessary. It would not be wise to put this off until next class, as I will have additional work for you then. So, some work on thesis and topic sentences, which I can preview for you today. But so what is the work here? You're going to find and annotate the scenes that offer evidence for your tentative argument. Find and annotate scenes connected to the essential question you've chosen. This means find it, reread it, carefully annotate it to help clarify the specific argument that your paper will make about the play's answer to the essential question. So you may have an idea of what Shakespeare is saying about your question, but this is really where you're going to refine it into a specific thesis. This involves finding and understanding evidence for the major part of your final essay, aka this assignment is the bulk of your research work for this essay. Thorough, careful annotation of the text as you complete this assignment is essential for success on this essay. This is not the assignment to slack on, because doing this assignment will write the body of the paper for you ultimately. So what am I looking for? You really need 4 to 6 scenes. From those scenes, you may quote more than once in your final paper, but you're probably going to need at least 4 to 6 different scenes that support your argument. After all, you're arguing that Shakespeare is answering this question throughout the text, so there should be multiple moments in the text that offer insights into your chosen question. So if you want to get an idea like what the final essay will involve in terms of how much of the play are you analyzing to answer the question, I have a document here. See the model essay and topic sentences doc attached below to get an idea of what the paragraph and evidence expectation is for the text-based body of this essay. I will show you that this part of it where you write the topic sentences and all that, that's not work for today. You're just focusing on finding the evidence. But I want to show you this because it gives you an idea. So in this is that manipulation model essay that I was I was brainstorming last time. So I come up with here, this is a step ahead, mind you. This is already found the evidence, already refined the thesis. You don't have to have a fixed thesis yet, but looking ahead at an outline, it has a thesis, and then there's 4 body paragraphs that look at Macbeth, the play, to find answers to the essential question. And those 4 body paragraphs use at least 2, sometimes 3 pieces of evidence. If you look in the outline, like paragraph 1 is going to use a quote from 1.5, it's going to use a quote from 1.7. That's 2 quotes. Paragraph 2 is using a quote from 1.3 and a quote from 4.1. Paragraph 3 is using a quote from 1.5 and 1.7. Paragraph 4, 5.3, 5.5, and 5.8. So if you just count the specific scenes here, we have 1.5, 1.7, 1.3, 4.1, 5.3, 5.5, 5.8. This essay uses 7 different scenes. So this is on the high end. This is a model of a really solid paper. Now, is it using a lot of information in each scene? Maybe it's just 1 quote. Maybe you would use fewer scenes if those scenes were meatier and you were pulling more quotes for them. But that's why I say 4 to 6, because you're looking about 4 body paragraphs on Macbeth. So this is going to take some time. You're going to have all of this class. You're going to have next class, but you're going to need some time in between. What do the annotations look like? I gave you a model. This is a model of annotations from 1.3. This has been exported to Notability and handwritten in Notability, and it was annotated for evidence dealing with the issue of manipulation that I've been talking about in the model paper. So, for example, here it says Shakespeare sets up the witches as cruel and vindictive, so it's not surprising that they manipulate Macbeth later. Manipulation here, when Macbeth is first hailed by the title Thane of Cawdor, they know that Ross is on his way, and this is sure to stoke Macbeth's curiosity. So you're annotating to find specific evidence to your argument. Feel free to look through that, though I think you should understand how to annotate for understanding and for evidence, because the evidence that you choose is dependent on your understanding, right? And then there's the Macbeth Folger full text that you can access. So focus 4 to 6 separate scenes pulled out of the Macbeth full text, move to Notability, annotated to find evidence to support your answer to the essential question that you picked last class, and moved back to this assignment link to be submitted here. So in this assignment link, you'll ultimately be submitting between 4 and 6 separate PDFs that include your annotations, whether handwritten using a stylus in Notability, or typed in Notability using text boxes, or uploaded as PDFs using a scanning app for things that you printed out. I would not personally recommend doing that. I would stick to doing it in Notability. Okay, if you have any specific questions that you think might apply to everyone, you can add a comment to this lesson plan, and I will respond to you. Otherwise, reach